Donk, donk, donk. Straight wheel. Bang, bang, donk, 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 bang, bang, bang. Hey guys, Quentin here, Cycle for Life. We are coming up on Barber Motorsports Park. You all know me, my name's Quentin. This is Cody. Cody, what are you going to learn at Barber's?
All 2019 new features.
Of what?
Kawasaki.
So, yep, here we are, guys. Barber Motorsports Park Raceway. I never got to race there in my road race career. I sold tires there, but I never actually got to race on that track. It's a bucket list thing for me. I'll build up another road racer at some point, bring it down here, and we'll do it. But alright, guys, headed to the museum. Our Cycle for Life at the museum. Look at this steel frame here, where it's, you know, traditional steel tubing, chrome moly, TIG welded, no doubt. Very rare to see a monocoque frame. Monocoque meaning mono chassis. There's no steel tubing underneath this frame. This aluminum is bent and tigged with the tank molded in it that way to give it that shape. And just like a race car can have a monocoque chassis, this is a motorcycle with a monocoque chassis. Very, very, very rare. Very hard to produce. Very expensive to produce. And you don't see many of those. Morbidelli. 350, that was the first road race bike I ever had. The black and yellow one. That's the 1983, 1984 Kenny Roberts replica. I had one. That's the first road race bike I ever had. Super Hawk. My buddy Shane had a Super Hawk. Was one of his first track bikes. I want you to see this. This is an oval piston 750. Honda for years with 2-strokes and 4-strokes messed with square 4s. The VFR and all those. I love those square 4 designs, 4-stroke or 2-stroke. Some of their fastest 2-stroke 500s were 4-cylinder squares, sometimes on one crank, sometimes on two, but they were 4-cylinder square shape. Well, what they did with this is they took the 4 cylinders and they made oval pistons. They actually machined oval pistons and made oval piston rings. And that was an incredible breakthrough that they tested, and they built it, but they never produced it. They never made it available to the public. And that was in 1997. Level racetrack does when they don't have a lot of runoff room. When they crash in that corner and they slide out, they hit that gravel and it slows them down before they get to the fence line or the guardrail. You know, keep people safe. Causes severe vehicle damage, but it really helps the human factor. But look, isn't this beautiful? It's absolutely beautiful. Cycle's near and dear to my heart. Let's start with a simple one. This was the Eddie Lawson replica that came out. Eddie Lawson was a world famous world GP guy back in the 80s, and he had a green and black motorcycle, and that's a replica. That's a street bike version designed to look like what his old race bike was. But that's what race bikes used to look like 30 years ago. And this R7 came out the same year I was racing the Yamaha contingency program when I was running R6s and R1s. This was their 750 version. This is the 99 R7 750. They call this a street bike. They homologated it for the AMA Superbike title, but you couldn't buy one. The dealers couldn't get them and sell them to you. But yeah, this was the 750 track bike that they put out in '99. Harley guys, I'll give you some props. There's your AMF Harley 2-stroke. There you go, check her out. I do like the seat. Harleys always have nice seats. Look at that. There's the proof. Check it out. Look it up, guys. Old Q, Cycle for Life, won a 500 GP race on one of these. Back brakes on the left, shifters on the right. BSA Gold Star. Yeah, Tom Heiser, a Heiser Cycle owned one, and in 1999 we did the South Carolina Motorsports Park ARMA race. You had Dave Roper and Pat Mooney and Quentin Mize, and yeah, it was a battle, but I edged him out by like a half a wheel at the line and won that thing. It was amazing. I couldn't imagine I couldn't imagine getting back on one of those and trying to go fast, as skinny as those tires are. And I think I was just too young and dumb to say no is what it was. I don't think I'd try it again today, but we were flying on those old backward shifters. I was just too young to know any better. Hey Kawasaki, this was supposed to be my next road race bike, the Ninja 400. I won the 9 Ultralight Championships in 17 on the 250 300 crank. I was going to run one of these in 400 stock class, but their contingency program, they only pay one class, and if they're only going to pay one class, I can't afford to do it. So come on Kawasaki, pay 2 classes. Let's do it. Yeah, look at this. This is gorgeous. It's kind of like holy ground. It's kind of serene to see a racetrack with nothing on it. Just looking at the corners, just imagining how it would feel to go through them. It's sexy. We have the Kawasaki 1600 V8, air-cooled V8 4-stroke, 1600 cc's. Yeah, man, look at that big thing. Then over here you got the Z2300 V12. Yeah, when 8 cylinders just isn't enough. Look at this. 2012 Kawasaki Z2600. Great Britain and Japan, yeah. I don't know how you're supposed to ride that. I wouldn't want to ride that, but there it is. If you need 12 cylinders on your motorcycle, there you go. Exactly sure what this is. I just know enough to know it's unique. I don't think this is the Water Buffalo. I think this is something different, but it's a Suzuki RE5 rotary. Don't ask me any more than that, because that's more than I know already. But there it is. Circa 1975. Okay, Chuck Hancock, this is the TD1B Yamaha TD section. Here's the old TR2s, TD2Bs, TRs, TZs, 350s, 250s, and the 750. 91 version of this that I took to Loretta Lynn's in the amateur championships in the summer of 1991. But it's basically the same bike. This is a 1990 CR250. Mine just had a little bit different graphics on it, but it was that same bike. There's Cannondale stab at a dirt bike. Here's the old ATKs. Look at that ATK, Cody, with the rear brake is up while the counter shaft. See that? Yeah, they dropped the design because see how the chain goes up and over the roller? They had to get rid of that, but it was kind of unique. It had a brake on the counter shaft. Here's the Mako. This was a bad boy in its day. Here's an old Suzuki RM. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Look, guys, I found Bigfoot too. There's Bigfoot over there. See? There he is. It's 1885 Maybach Daimler Reitwagen. This is a replica of one of the first bikes to be built. The first one was a bicycle style design, but this is one of the first standalone power motorcycle engines that wasn't a bicycle, and went 7 miles an hour. And this is when they first constructed a device called a carburetor to mix gasoline with air. So this was 1885, guys. Where is the carburetor? Let's see if we can figure how this thing works. There's obviously some kind of a brake setup. Look at that. Yep, and as the crankshaft turns, it turned a leather belt. Look, they had a 2-speed option. You could move the belt and get 2 different speeds out of it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and walk around the other side. Yeah, you could change the belt to get 2 different speeds. And it had a little pinion-driven rear wheel. Wooden frame. What's this little doodad? Oh, this looks like a valve. This looks like a throttle right here. I think that's the throttle. This is the brake. This is the throttle. Look at that. That's amazing. Do they have bearings in these wheels of any kind, or are they just wooden rollers like the wagon wheels? Man, that's cool. 1885, guys. Talk about steering flex. I guess it was okay when you're going 7 miles an hour. That thing is cool. Guys, this is what water scooters, aka jet skis, look like in the 1950s. The Vincent Company made this in the 50s. They certainly were ahead of their time. This is their lawnmower, and a Vincent lawnmower. So look, they had warning labels even in those days. Daggum lawyers. Now guys, we're here at Barber Motorsports Park. That is the fastest vehicle on the track today. What is that, a Kubota? Yep. That Kubota forklift right there. That's the fastest thing running today, folks. Cody, go save her. There she is. She's gonna jump. Don't do it, Cody. Sorry. Say you're sorry, Cody.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna come save you.
It's the start-finish line right there. And those are your brake markers going down into, I think, what is turn 1. I never raced here. And then you got this nice sweeping downhill, uphill. It's just absolutely gorgeous, guys. Life doesn't get any better than this. All the history of my life in one place. Thank you, God, for Barber Motorsports Museum. And for Cody.
Yes, and for Cody.
Now, you know, this is a Cycle for Life video. You know I'm into motorcycles and bicycles. I can't help it. I'm at the Barber Motorcycle Museum. See, motorcycles, bicycles. Motorcycles, bicycles. Look at this thing, man. I've never seen in real life an old school big wheel like that. Check that thing out, man. Oh, I want to ride it in the parking lot so bad. Oh, they got some modern bikes up here. What's this little white thing with the Bridgestone logo on it? Y'all know I'm a Bridgestone guy. What's going on with this little car? A Lotus. Oh, it's a Lotus. Lotus with the Bridgestone. Oh, this is one of Paul's old cars. Paul Newman. You know what Paul Newman said his favorite point about Summit Point Raceway is? They said, hey, Paul, what's your favorite part of Summit Point Raceway? He said Summit Point Road. The road that leads to the track, because it's awesome. And one of Paul's little Lotuses. That's cool. That's cool. Well, it's a Chevrolet V8, whatever it is. Look at the fire system on that thing. Chevrolet. Well, it's no kind of Corvette. They may have called it a Corvette at some point, but it ain't nothing like a Corvette. I don't know what it is. Chevrolet something. It's cool though. We rolled out of the Barber Motorsports Park and we're heading over to Bass Pro because, you know, we looked at motorcycles. Now we got to go look at guns. So, Cody, tell me, what was your favorite part about Barber Motorsports Motorcycle Museum? Tell me.
How big it was and seeing the history of motors, engines being built.
Okay.
And how far it's come in the past 100 years.
In 100 years, right, because motorcycles are basically only about 100 years old, give or take. Okay. So, yeah, for me, it's interesting to look at the older bikes have real skinny fork tubes and real skinny tires and really weak engines. As they learned how to go faster, they needed more grip, so they made better tires. Well, as they got better tires, now the chassis become spindly and weak and flexing and bending, literally bending in the corners and whatnot. So talking about the road race bikes. So then they put bigger fork tubes and swing arms and frames together. Well, then you get better tires with a better frame. Now you're ready for more speed, right? Because now it handles good. So when they got the handling right, then they start doing engine development. Now they need more horsepower. So they go to work on the horsepower for the next 5-10 years. And then you get a guy who says, man, this engine's really fast and it's great, but now I'm losing grip, or now I'm losing stability in the corners. So the cycle just continues and continues. You know, the fork tubes get bigger, the frames get stronger, the engines get faster. Of course, they need better brakes, and it just goes and goes and goes and goes. And for the last 100 years, we've just been developing stuff that it's incredible, the motorcycles. Even in my short race career, you know, I didn't start road racing until 1992, and I was motocrossing in the 80s. And even just from 88 or 92 till today, looking at the bikes I started racing on and the bikes that are available now, it's incredible what we're doing with technology. But yeah, thank you, Barber Motorsports. Thank you, Cody, for enjoying this day with me today. This is an awesome time. And you folks out there in YouTube land, if you're anywhere near it, or even if you're not, make it a special trip. You got to go see the Barber Museum. You just got to do it. They're not plugging me. They're not sponsoring me. In fact, they probably might not even know I made this video. I don't even know how they feel about footage of their property being out on YouTube. I don't know. I didn't ask them, to be honest with you, but I'm just telling you, as a motorcyclist, you need at some point to go see the Barber Museum. It's absolutely fantastic. All right, be safe. God bless. Wear your helmets. Peace out. Oh, that was so funny. That was hilarious. Oh my gosh. Cody walked over here and saw that thing, and he jerked so hard his glasses came off his head.